Jey Uso arrived at the start of Raw. He had no backs. He had nothing, so I presume he was raw dogging. Also, I just realized when Jey Uso does arrive at Raw, it's basically like a greeting, so we should call him Hey Uso. I'm here all week. We also learned that LA Knight is going to be out indefinitely after he had been tsunamied 42,796 times. My hand went up and I was like, shouldn't a doctor give you an ETA? Like, when am I going to be back, doc? We don't know. You're out indefinitely. Can you just like guess a ballpark figure or a month? No, I said it would be a while. I wouldn't go back to him again. Also, my friends, one of the ups and downs, the only wrestling review show you need with me, the bald idiot, Simon Miller. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger. If I like something, I'm going to give it an up. If I don't like something, I'm going to give it a down. I've been doing this 9 years and it just hit my brain how dumb this is, but I appreciate you stopping by. And it was the go-home show for Night of Champions, which apparently is still going ahead. We'll talk about that later. Let's up those downs. Seth Rollins and his goobers were the first people out on Raw this week too. And listen, I know it's unfair to call them goobers because Paul Heyman is like all time and Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed are awesome. But if WWE isn't going to give me an official name, I am going to call them Seth Rollins and his goobers because it sounds like some crappy band from 1974. Seth was also so mad. He's like, listen, fans, you're singing my song, but you're also chanting for CM Punk, and sometimes you make noises for Roman Reigns. I really think you need to decide what you want from me, because it hurts my feelings. He didn't say that part. He also talked about the fact that they barked for Bron Breakker. I'm still not over that. Don't forget on SmackDown, Ron literally went ruff, 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 like he thinks he's an actual dog. No one has explained that one to me. I don't want to be that guy, but I think that's probably something we should nip in the bud. Ultimately, Rollins doesn't care though, because he knows what this audience needs, because look at everything that has happened so far. Roman Reigns, in his current guise, wouldn't exist without Seth Rollins. CM Punk pretends he came back from the fans, but actually it was WWE capitalizing on the hate that Seth Rollins has for he. And as for Cody Rhodes, well, he only got his second win because we came back to WWE. Who did he take on? It was Seth Rollins. I was like, now, all of those things are true, but I also think you're making a lot of this stuff up. He was also the first ever NXT champion, so that whole place has been built off his back. I was like, what a humble man you are. And given that he was stood there with Paul Heyman, he was like, he knows how to lead a revolution, and I know how to lead a revolution. And you know what? I'm the past, I'm the present, and I'm the future. And therefore, we're gonna take over WWE. Me and the goobers. It's why they had to go and kill LA Knight. Apparently he was going to get in the way of this. And why Bron Breakker is going to kill Pentagon in just a few seconds. Because who knew? These are the only two people getting in the way of Seth Rollins. It was LA Knight and Pentagon. And it does make sense with LA Knight. He's a night man, and he's like a member of the round table. To be fair though, he also did go through all the big names, because he mentioned Cody, Roman, I think even Goldberg at one point, which was very interesting. And essentially, he is the end game of WWE. And I was like, I thought that was a movie, but what do I know? Then he got really mad and started shouting at people. But Seth Rollins these days just a little bit unhinged. Now this was okay to a point, but I do think we kind of need some direction here. Like, I understand writing LA Knight off TV, because I imagine it's going to be Seth Rollins versus LA Knighters at SummerSlam. But I will give it an up because I think they are a good group. We have got to phase 2, making more Marvel references, and we just need to give them a little bit more direction. Don't want to say they feel aimless, because of course they have the Money in the Bank briefcase. They kept kissing that the whole time. But yeah, it's like a mini up. It was a fine opening promo, but it did kind of feel like a stereotypical Raw opening promo. But then, given that Bron Breakker was in the ring, well, he started to take on Pentagon straight away. It also didn't mean it was the dog versus the shape, and of course Penta did a dive very early on because it is 2025 when Bron Breakker does that crazy thing where he jumps off the ring and they all go toppling over and the announce table. Listen, the one thing we have learned is in 2025, you can put Bron Breakker in the ring with anybody and I'll have a good match. Now clearly Penta is very talented, but this Bron dude, he does not miss. He's also a dog. We also got a Frankenstein and a really good 1-2 off a Mexican Destroyer because they had filled 10 meters. But otherwise, there was no nonsense here whatsoever. Penta decided I'm going to do a springboard flying nothing, but he shouldn't have done that because Bron Breakker speared him out of midair. And all you need to do is go and watch this and look at people's faces in the crowd. One woman was like, she couldn't believe it. And I was like, yeah, you and me both. He got the 1, 2, 3. Bron Breakker's climb to the top continues. Rollins also got right in Penta's face and said, you better start leaving me alone. So he really does have problems and he needs to calm down. Also, this is like the perfect thing to do if somebody isn't going to leave you alone. Giving it an up. It was a pretty damn good match. Well, we got something super interesting, because we did get the video recap that Liv Morgan has been injured. I really hope she is okay. When AJ Styles met with Adam Pearce, and Adam said, "Oh, hi, AJ. I got some bad news for you. Your match at Night of Champions for the Intercontinental title has been called off because Dominic Mysterio is now injured too." Now, one, this could be WWE changing track, because maybe Liv Morgan was going to be tied into that. But also, well, yes, there has been a lot of worried faces about this weekend's event, so maybe somebody decided they didn't want to go, or who the flub knows. Now listen, we're not going to get into that too deep, but all I am going to say is maybe we should be a bit nicer to each other today, and always remember that wrestling is the most important of the least important thing. There is nothing more important than your health and your safety and your well-being. So no matter what happened here, it doesn't matter. We can probably just do this match in a couple of weeks on Raw, or flub it, do it at SummerSlam. AJ Styles did make me laugh though, because he's like, well, what happened here? Did Dominic strain his mustache? And I was like, AJ, man, it's like a serious injury. I understand that you are rocking the beard, and therefore you don't understand the pain of a strained mustache. But maybe you should have a little bit more thought for the people that do. The New Day and Grayson Waller then walked in, and this really annoyed me for two reasons, one real and one sort of real, but not really, because essentially the New Day were like, oh man, we're the best. But this reunion or union with Grayson Waller, we couldn't have given them one big promo segment in the ring for all of a sudden they are a trio. And here, Adam Pearce just went, ha ha ha. By the way, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, next week, you are facing the Judgment Day for the tag team titles. Now, Grayson got all mad like, oh, mate, I can't believe you did that, man. That's totally unreasonable. But this has just come out of nowhere. Why the fuck can't we give the tag team scene more anything? I'm trying to think of a smart word. Just give them something. Giving them a piece of cheese. So I am going to give it a down. Then also, as the New Day were leaving, they screamed at Adam Pearce, "You're bald." Now, fair play to Adam. He went, yeah, I am. What are you going to do about it? But it's out of control, and I can't believe I didn't do this before, because between AEW and WWE, you full heads are running wild. So bam, there it is, the bald barometer. Anytime somebody does insult somebody for being bald, I am putting a 1 on it, and we're starting at 20. You go, Simon, that's not fair. Are you trying to pretend that we haven't had 20 references in 2025? Because we definitely have. It's affecting me on like a double level too. I have been making this my gimmick, both on YouTube and in wrestling, for like 5 years. Now it's been stolen from me. Not that I thought I was king bald, but it would be cool to be king bald. The point is, stop it. So all of this stings, I'm not talking about Steve Borton. When we had a sit-down interview with Goldberg, I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect that on this show. Michael Cole was here. What an opening question. He was like, so Bill, why did you decide to go after Gunther? And he was like, well, we were at that show a few months ago, Mike. And remember, he insulted me and my family and my child? I was like, ha, he did do that. Bill was like, yeah, get a better question. Now, given the fact that Billy Boy was already thinking about one last match, he was like, oh, hi, well, I can now do it with Gunther. And listen, while he does respect the ring general, you don't get to see these kind of things to Goldberg. So now he's going to smash him and crash him come Saturday night's main event. This is why I like Goldberg. I understand he's 58 years old, but nobody's more serious, nobody is madder, and my gosh, he is one intense human. He also said that as long as he's breathing, he's gonna make Gunther pay, which means even after this match, as long as he doesn't die, it should mean that he continually goes after Gunther, when, my friends, he said at that show, he is gonna beat the flub out of this man. Now, I'm sure you can figure this out, but I'll tell you for free, Goldberg did not say the word flub. Now, Cole continued to say that this was going to be his last match, so a side of me was like, doth he protest too much? Which could mean that Dr. Robotnik is gonna fly in with all of his chaos and send everybody crazy. But I wouldn't mind it. I've told you 1,000 times, if I'm going to get wrestling every single week, I need some madness here and there, otherwise it would get a bit boring. And once again, if you understand your character and how to project it through the screen, you can always make it work. This made me very excited about Gunther versus Goldberg, and I understand that makes me the problem, but I have been the problem for the past 35 years. I'm giving it an up. I want it. So Judgment Day were then sad pandas, because of course Liv Morgan has been injured, so Finn Balor was running around trying to get everybody G'd up, when Raquel Rodriguez, Raquel, I wear sunglasses because I'm a bad guy now, Rodriguez, had the audacity to say, but what about my tag team title? I'm a little bit worried what's going to happen to it. How's that, Raquel? I understand this is not your fault, but we're in the world of kayfabe here. You haven't cared about it since the Raw after WrestleMania. I don't think you defended it once, and you've been running off doing singles things, and Liv Morgan has been running off doing singles things. Why can't we just book these championships properly Everybody calm down. Finn then muttered something under his breath and Raquel got really mad, but Balor loved that even more because he was like, yes, we need you to be the enforcer of the group. When Dom was like, man, just so sad that Liv Morgan isn't here and I miss her. So quite clearly, he hasn't even tried to reach out for her for the past week. They still all wish Roxanne Perez luck because of course she is going to head out for the Queen of the Ring match. And we made it very clear that Rodriguez is going to go after Rhea Ripley. So fair play to Finn Balor, he had managed to build a little bit of a plan. Laura Valkyria then found Bayley, and she tried to make up what she had said last week. I was like, you can't do that a week after the fact. And Bayley was completely in the right here, because she was like, well, actually, Lyra, you said that I shouldn't be allowed to fight for the IC title. Who are you, Mr. Magoo? And Lyra was like, yeah, I should have done that. I made a mistake here. When Bayley calmed down and said, yeah, okay, look, I got a bit too mad too. And you could just smell it, man. It's like, these two aren't going to be friends for much longer. They're most definitely going to fall out. Of course, Becky Lynch was hanging out in the background because that's what all heels do nowadays. And she melted down because these people were having a conversation. When it was time for the Queen of the Ring semi-finals, what a moron I am. Since the beginning, I've been going, Jade Cargill's going to win, Jade Cargill's going to win. And then we got to the predictions and I went, actually, I think we'll give it to Roxanne Perez. We did not. She lost here. Jade is going to the final. Somebody punched me in the face. Now listen, it was kind of fun to a point because of course Jade is really big and Roxy isn't as big. So of course she went after Jade Cargill's leg and she gave it a chop block and she was throwing it into Simba the Still Steps. And while that sounds like an unhinged individual, if you want to win the Queen of the Ring, you gotta do some pretty bad stuff. And yes, it was really cool because at one point Roxanne Perez dived at Cargill and she just caught her out of midair and threw her around. But it is only fair to say we have to call a spade a spade. It did get a little bit wibbly wobbly. And somebody used the word clunky. Now, I don't like the word clunky, because sometimes I can watch a clunky match and be like, man, I'm having a clunk of a time. But yeah, I did kind of get it here. It was just like, it didn't really go as well as everybody intended, but you do not have to go nuts and go, what a botched job. This happens, man. Sometimes you put two people in the ring and for whatever reason they don't click, and you do it a week later, and it's the biggest click you've ever seen in your life. What? Eventually Perez went for the pop rocks, but Cargill's like, no, you shall not do that to me. She hit a bomb of power and Jaded for the 1-2-3. So it was way more cut and dry than I was expected. And Oscar came out afterwards going, oh, I wear a mask now. I'm going to look at you because that is the final. And I am excited about that. I think it's going to be good. And actually, in hindsight, Jade Cargill is the right winner. But I think ultimately you do have to give it a down. I just think they could do better. And I'm sure one day they win in the future. But it doesn't matter, and we're allowed to move on straight away. And the good part, of course, is that I imagine it does go to Jade versus Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam when Naomi comes down with her Money in the Bank briefcase, and she cashes in, and she leaves Hot WrestleMania as the champion. As long as that happens, I do not give a flap. The teasers then continued on because we got a video of Goldberg's WCW debut, which I absolutely loved. And Michael Khan was like, well, what does happen if Goldberg becomes the world champion? Would he still retire? If you stared off into the distance, you could hear him again, Dr. Robotnik. Jackie Redmond then tried to interview Dominic Mysterio, but him and his wounded moustache were too sad, so they basically walked away. But also, you couldn't hear him over the booing. When Sheamus was talking to Maxine Dupree and then Tyler again, just being like, yeah, you know what? I think one day you could win the women's tag team titles. I was like, Sheamus, they're both very talented, but what the flap are you basing this on? They've quite literally done nothing. Sheamus also wanted to punch Rusev in the face again when Rusev walked in and was like, oh, there you are, Mr. Stab in the back. When Sheamus actually went, oh, well, look who it is. The worst and most egotistical member from the League of Nations. So put your hand up if you thought we were going to get a League of Nations reference in WWE in 2025. Everybody's hand goes down. And if you still have yours up, you are a lying Larry. But listen, we are teasing this. Let's just get to it. Let's not even wait till SummerSlam. Throw it on a Raw. Big men, slapping man meat, and I'll be happy. I don't think word finally got to Gunther that Goldberg had said horrible things about him because he came to the ring. He was so damn mad. And let's just give a round of applause to the ring general. This guy is so damn good. He will be a babyface one day. He is just hitting home runs all over the place. And once again, he had just been getting madder and madder about all this stuff because he hadn't talked to anybody in 7 days and he needs to do that. When he essentially said, yeah, sure, Goldberg, you were the most destructive man of your generation, but but it ain't 1999 no more. It's 2025, and you are just a beaten up old fossil. You can't get in the ring with me, which is why come Saturday's main event, I'm going to destroy you. He's got the title to prove that he is the best as well, and he knows that Goldberg is a one-trick pony. So given where we are going to be, I imagine your family will be there. So I will apologize to them right now, because I'm going to take you out again for good, and the legacy and the myth of Goldberg will be dead forever. I was like, well, hot damn, Gunther baby. Say what you really feel. He's so confident of this as well. He was like, Goldberg, you couldn't even lace my boots. I was like, what's it matter? He's 58 years old. I'm pretty sure he could lace your boots, Gunther. I mean, how hard could it be?
So you pull this here and you pull that there. Then you have to pull this up the wim wham, and this goes to the Alcatraz, and bim bam boom, you're done.
Damn it. The way that he delivered the whole Goldberg's legacy dies forever as well was the most angry anyone has ever been. And this just goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. They have done such good work with their talking. I want to see it, and I don't know what this is going to be. Like, it can't be Gunther just running through Goldberg, because there's no way Bill would agree to it. So how do we make it work? Because Goldberg can't become champion. Like, I'm excited for this and I want it, but Gunther has to leave with the belt. But this kind of intrigue gets in my brain, and it gets in my hand too. I am giving it an up. All I ever want to do is to be able to sit down and fantasy book and get pumped about wrestling. Job done. Becky Lynch then tried to do an interview with Jackie Redmond, but she was too paranoid, so she just ran away. When Jackie was like, oh, well, look, it's Sami Zayn. Let's go ruin his day. He was like, so you lost on SmackDown. How are you feeling? When in walked Karrion Kross and Scarlett to a mammoth pop, and he literally went, ha ha, you loser. I told you weren't going to be able to win because you won't do what it takes, which is why you never will be the champion. Zayn went, all right. And he punched him right in the face. Now, the really cool thing about this is Zayn then revealed he's already gone to Adam Pearce. The match is already on the books, and it's happening at Night of Champions, which is in 4 days. So this is yet another copy and repeat job by me. I want to see that. I'm very excited. And we need to get this right, because Karrion Kross is on the precipice of something here. And of course, everybody loves Sami Zayn. I do not know in which this direction is going to go, but I want to see it. When it was indeed Becky Lynch versus Bayley for the WWE Women's IC title, and we put a 1 on the dick counter. Well, actually, fair play to WWE when it does come to distraction, interference, and confusion. They were very reserved on this episode of Raw, and it meant this was effective, even though you could see it coming a mile away. As soon as Becky Lynch went after the arm as well, Bayley bailed because she understands what was going on here. When later on, she applied a Boston Crab. Now, I've been thinking about this since this morning, because she's not Boston, and she's most definitely not Crab, so why the flub did she think this was going to work? She was able to hit Becky with the manhandle slam though, but Becky Lynch made sure she used all her MP points to roll out of the ring. That meant she wasn't able to capitalize on this move. Actually, now I think about it, a lot of wrestlers were using other superstars' maneuvers on this episode of Raw. What was in the tea? It worked too, because Lynch just threw Bayley over at the announce table and basically buried her in chairs. When surprise, surprise, who turned up but Lyra Valkyria? I was like, Lyra, you don't need to be here right now. I don't understand this. And Becky was like, go on, why don't you whack me on? Because she was fine taking the disqualification. It means she keeps her title. Later on though, Becky went to baseball slide Bayley, who got out the way, and she hit Lyra Valkyria instead. So as soon as she got back up, Valkyria decided, nope, I didn't enjoy that. She attacked Becky Lynch. She got disqualified, and quite understandably, Bayley was like, why did you do that, you weird bird lady? You just screwed me over. So somebody needed a calm potion here, and actually, both Becky and Bayley are well within their rights to be super pissed at Lyra. And if you were going to tell me who is the heel of the piece, well, I'm sorry, Valkyria, I would be pointing to you. But I did think it was a good bit of business, because I've wanted the three-way at SummerSlam for a long old time. I think they could steal the show if they are able to get it right. And also, Lyra Valkyria can win the belt, and then you can do a personal feud between Becky Lynch and Bayley, and everyone's going to benefit. So I am going to give it an up. Like I say, it was a wrestling trope, but it was used effectively. I do want to see what happens next. Chad Gable then became a 7-year-old because he went up to Ivy now and said, listen, don't tell the Creeds, but you're my favorite. But I'm also mad at you because you didn't win Queen of the Ring and you didn't win Money in the Bank. So I looked in my asshole dictionary and I was like, yep, that's most definitely gaslighting. It also sounded like he wanted Ivy to go take out Stephanie Vaquer, not to dinner, when he continued being a child because he saw Penta in the corner. He went, ha ha ha, Penta, you suck right now. so Penta super kicked him in the face and broke his arm. I was like, Chad, you must have seen that coming. It was pretty damn obvious. I mean, what the flub did you think he was gonna do? Give you a cookie? And the Creeds ran in after this. I was like, listen, Julius and Brutus, you should watch the tape 45 seconds before this. You would not want to help this man. He is a mean Mary. You also saw Ludwig Kaiser in the background during this skit, which was nice because it means he's not dead. When Raquel Rodriguez just came smashing to the ring and went, Rhea Ripley, I want to see you right now. And Rhea then just came to the ring. So I was like, is it that easy? Is that all you got to do? All right, so Rhea Ripley, get here right now. Give it a minute. It may take some time. It's probably in America. Nope. I've made an embarrassment of myself. Ripley absolutely whooped Raquel Rodriguez's ass as well. And then, yes, she pulled out a snap into her Slim Jim table, which is now happening every single week. But it's becoming like a bad joke. It's making me laugh because it is so in your face. When Roxanne Perez came out to help her new best friend, and this really did feel like little sister to big sister, and it worked because they picked her up and they powerbombed Rhea Ripley through the table. So now they're coming together. I bet, much like when Naomi took over the tag team title and joined Bianca Belair, that's what we'll do with Raquel and Roxanne. Then when Liv Morgan comes back, she can be like, I can't believe you did this, and she'll be a mega baby face. I just thought this was a well-executed angle. Right after Rhea Ripley busted into Adam Pearce's office and said, oh man, mate, I want a street fight with Raquel and Night of Champions, and that's happening as well. That could be super good. And you had Oscar and Io Sky being like, oh my gosh, if you win Queen of the Ring, we could have a fight. Because they used to be in Damage Control, then they kind of fell out over what happened in Damage Control. But listen, I am giving it an up. I thought Rhea, Roxanne, and Raquel did a great job. Once again, let's do my today catchphrase. I'm pretty damn excited about it. They got a big video for CM Punk versus John Cena, which was really good. When we got to our main event, Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso, King of the Ring semi-finals. This was so damn good. Nobody really got booed. It was I'm going to cheer you and I'm going to cheer you. Don't understand why people get so worried about this. Even if Cody or Jey did get some jeers, they're professionals, man. You should work it into the match. If you have 25 minutes today, you should watch this. I thought it was totally fabu. Cody was going for the crossroads so damn fast. I was like, Cody, you've forgotten about your meter. When Jey Uso missed the hip attack. What the flub is going on with the hip attack in 2025? That is everybody's new favorite move. I think one person needs to take ownership of it, and the rest of us just need to let it go. Sound good? Great. Uso then got the Samoan drop for a 1-2-ooh when they actually started trading submissions, and Jey here is starting to utilize the sleeper all of the time, so maybe one, he's confident with it given what happened against Gunther at WrestleMania, or two, somebody had tipped him off. Cody has not got his 8 hours. We then got our big superplex. It is a main event when Cody missed the bionic elbow, when I swear Jey Uso hit a Randy Orton power slam thingamajig, but also he did his own crossroads for a 1-2-ooh. So we're back here again. It was the night of stealing other people's finishes. Before that too, we got Cody Cutter for a 1-2-ooh when all of a sudden Jey Uso hit him with a super kick and he got the spear. And Jey assumed the position of, oh my gosh, I'm about to win. He climbed to the top rope and he was gonna hit his oosey-woosey splash when Cody absolutely took a Phoenix down. He flew up there. He hit this awesome avalanche Cody Cutter. It looked really good. He grabbed Jey. He gave him the crossroads. Jey Uso sold that like he was dead. 1, 2, 3, meaning the finals. And now Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. This bald idiot predicted that, so I'm happy. And of course, afterwards, Jey and Cody had a big hug. They're still friends. This really was so much fun though, and bravo to all, because this King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournament really has felt like a big deal, because there has been barely any distractions, any interference, any confusion. We just kept it mano a mano, or womano. Sounds like something from Thundercats. I am going to give it an up, and I am pumped for both of these. Oscar versus Jade will be good. Cody versus Randy is going to be totally wild, especially because this idiot thinks it's going to tie into Randy Orton's heel term latter half of 2025. I had a really good time. Which brought us to the end of Monday Night Raw, and I actually thought this was a good episode, especially leading into one pay-per-view, which then instantly leads into another pay-per-view. I am giving it an up. That's what you have to remember. People are starting to add up the counters again. That doesn't mean anything, because if a Dynamite, for example, has 42 segments, and Raw has 72 segments, well, Raw will have more ups and downs based on maths. All right, worry about this. Good show, check it out. Also, please do leave me a comment below and let me know what you thought about Raw last night. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which is ups and downs from SmackDown, where we talk about that promo from John Cena, which was very good. Otherwise, just interact as much as possible, but have a great day. See you soon.